Welcome to BitSquad Crypto. My name is Ben. Today we're talking about the top 3 things you need to know in a millionaire mindset to be able to become a millionaire in crypto. I'm of course on the Royal Caribbean, it depends on the seas. We're getting ready to go on the BitBoy Pluto Alliance cruise here in just a little bit. We are here, this is not the Bahamas, this is Port Canaveral, but we were really excited about that. And I want to talk to you guys about what it takes to be a millionaire in crypto. Now, trust me, I know how to do it. How do I know? Because I've made well over $1 million in crypto. Now, is that a flex? Now, I tell you what my bigger flex is. My bigger flex is that I actually lost all my money twice in crypto, 2 times. It took me 9 years to become a millionaire in crypto. All of you think you're going to just start today and tomorrow you're going to be rich. Guys, that's not how it works. It's a slow grind, and that's what we preach to you on this channel is be relentless. Grind, make it happen. It's not going to be quick. Let me tell you something I know about people that make money overnight in crypto, become millionaires overnight in crypto. They lose it all. They lose it all. Go look at your Dogecoin millionaire guy. Your guy Andre G. Love posting interviews with this guy. Guy's down to about nothing. Okay, now he might be going back up a little bit, but the fact is, the guy was an idiot. I'm sorry, he just was. Now I've been an idiot too. I'm not trying to judge him. I'm saying I certainly made a bunch of money in crypto and held it all the way to the bottom too before. But we didn't do that this time. Why? Because the number one thing you have to know in crypto, to be successful, to become a millionaire, from somebody who is on my 2nd decade in crypto, this is my 11th year in crypto, is take freaking profits. Take your profits when you get them. And I know it's a little hard to understand, right? When we're talking about Bitcoin going up to $120,000, whatever it might go to, some people are saying much higher than that. And you see Bitcoin pump from 15K to 30K, and you say, well, what's going on here? Like, should I take these profits, or should I be happy with this 2X, or should I hold to the top? Guys, crypto is never a straight line. It's never up only. It's always a stair step, okay? So what you have to do is you have to figure out how to take these profits. Now, let me tell you, in my opinion, the best way to take profits is you're heading into a bull run, okay, which I believe we are heading into the next 2 years. I don't think we're going to 100K this year or anything like that. I think it's probably going to be end of next year before we hit 70K, but it certainly could happen faster than that. Those are just my personal opinions, not financial advice, of course. None of this is financial advice. Why? Because, I don't know, I don't like giving financial advice. Maybe legally I can. I don't even know. I'm not sure what the law is. But here's the thing. The best way to handle this is when you're invested in, let's say, an altcoin especially, and the price goes up, let's say it goes up 20, 30, 40, 50%, maybe even 100%, take your freaking profits. Don't take all of it out. My friend Crypto Wendy O, we have our Forever Frenemies podcast coming out soon. She always likes to say, get yourself a moon bag. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you put $5,000 into a coin, or 500, whatever it might be, put $5,000 in a coin, it 2X's, and now you got 10X. Or excuse me, now you have $10,000. Take 5,000 out, put it to the side. Now you're only playing with house money in that coin. And I would suggest you don't even have to leave that whole $5,000 in, right? I mean, you certainly could leave in a smaller amount and take more profits. Now, what do you do with those profits? That's the question. Well, if you have a goal, you have something you need money for, then take it out. But if you're looking to stay in the market over the long term, what you have to do is you have to sell your profits on a coin when it's in the green, and then go find a coin that's been struggling, but it's a major coin. Like take Algorand, for instance. I don't know what Algorand's doing recently, but what I do know is Algorand at one point was down like 95% in this bear market. It's down massively. You look at some other coins, they haven't gotten down nearly that far. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think, both fell about 70% or 75%, somewhere around there, for instance. So they're already making big moves. Take those profits from a coin that pumps and put it into something that's struggling that you know has long-term potential, or at least potential over the bull run. I'm not talking about take your profits and put it in a meme coin or put it in coin 742 on CoinMarketCap. No. You take your profits from a good coin, you put them into a coin that's struggling. And so what you're doing is you're protecting yourself, because as your coin is in the green, there's no doubt it's going to retrace. Now, especially you should be listening to this if the coins that you like, are pumping when nothing else is. You need to pull that money out immediately. Okay. Number 2 thing. Okay. Now this is going to sound a little interesting here. Okay. Set limits. Set borders for yourself. Set guardrails for yourself. and stick with them. This is something that so many people struggle with, okay? Now, first and foremost, thank you to our sponsor, Stake, right? Set limits. Make sure you set limits when you go play on Stake. Play it recreationally. You want to get to a place where you make so much money. If you like to gamble, I like to gamble. I don't know about you. I like to gamble, okay? If you do, then you should do it for fun. I'm here on the casino, or the cruise. I'm gonna go play some casino games tonight because I like to do it. It's fun. That's one thing I enjoy. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that stuff. So what do I like to do? I like to gamble. I'm sorry, it's just my thing. So thank you to Stake for sponsoring the channel. You guys can sign up. We got some links on Twitter. If you go to twitter.com, it's the best place to find a tweet. You can check out pitboy_crypto there and sign up. As you guys know, all my insults and burns now sponsored by Stake. Okay, so point is, speaking of gambling, it's the same principle. You gotta set limits for yourself. Now, if you have Bitcoin and you say, oh, well, I'm gonna take profits on Bitcoin when it hits 50K. When it hits 50K, you actually take the profits. This is the number one thing that cost me money early on in my crypto career, was not doing this, right? Set goals for yourself. So when I started my crypto channel, okay, this was the end of my second bull run in crypto, just getting ready to lose all my money again at this point in early 2018. And, I decided to go full-time in crypto in August of that year. And I told my wife, I said, look, here's what I want to do. I want to buy a house with cash. I'm tired of living with a mortgage, tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to buy a house with cash and we won't have a mortgage. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Year and a half in, she thinks I'm crazy. She thinks it's not going to happen. And I told her, I convinced her that it was still going to. And you know what happens? Bull run starts, DeFi summer starts, 2020. And before you know it, I crushed it. We bought a house. It was $300,000, which is a decent sized house where I live in the Atlanta area. Okay. I know if you live in San Francisco, you're thinking, you bought a shack? you bought a spot on the sidewalk next to that Tinder.com? No. Okay. It was a nice house. It's like 3,000 square feet. And you guys realize to buy that house, I had to take out most of my crypto. I had to cash out most of my crypto at that point. Most of my crypto. Now, granted, the rest of that year was crazy. And by December 31st that year, in 2020, I had hit $1 million for the first time ever. So it paid off, but it was a big gamble for me. It was a big risk to actually have that goal and then actually pull the money out. Is a separate thing. Now, if I would have left the money in there, what would have happened? It would have went up a lot. I would have made a lot more money than I did. But here's the principle. I set a goal. I set something I wanted to do. And when I had the money to do it, I did it. Okay? And was it the greatest financial decision? Probably not. However, was it a better financial decision than sitting onto all the crypto and watching it go to zero in the next bear market, which I might have done? Absolutely. You have some skin in the game, and then you've got something to show for your time and effort. Okay? So set goals, set limits, whatever it is, whatever amount of money you want. When you get there, don't get greedy. That's the key. Okay? Don't get greedy. Number 3. The last thing I want to tell you guys is don't buy hype. Like, this is a big problem in the world of crypto. And certainly, you go back to the last market, and I was certainly guilty of falling into this thing where coins are hyped to me. And I'm thinking, oh man, this is getting so hype right now. Like, man, I need to tell my audience about it. I need to buy it. Guys, when the hype is at a fever pitch for any coin or any industry, that's not the time to buy. Let's take AI, for instance. AI was at a fever pitch about a month and a half ago. And then you know what happened? It retraced. And then it provided a good opportunity. So when you're looking at these hype coins, what you should be looking for are good opportunities that come with retracements from coins that have hype. Now, you got to learn the difference between a retracement and a falling knife. Falling knife is something that really has no value, and it's just going to go down very significantly, and you're going to try to catch it on dips, and it's just going to keep falling. If you stick to investing in what is legit, what is good, what has value, what has use case, what has utility, then you're probably going to be okay. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. I'll be back next week. Bye-bye.